What do you think about fucking Trump getting banned on all social media, Twitter?
You know, a lot of people ask me that.
I'm kind of torn on it, man.
Well, I know, because of the free speech thing, but
not only the free speech thing, but I feel like it's just gonna rile so many. I don't feel like that's the answer.
That I disagree.
I don't.
You can't let one or X amount of people. Listen, it's a company. They're making company decisions. Remember this,
right?
Listen, if it's a bad company decision, and 70 million people get off them, they'll go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
They're making that decision that it's not going to be that. Mm. So if you're in a capitalistic country, don't let the government tell you have to go and let them on either.
Right.
If you're really free, the market will determine if it's a good or bad move.
True.
Now, if Twitter fucking goes down because of fucking it loses people and all this kind of shit, well, Twitter made a bad decision.
Right.
And then some people will say, well, you know, would you let just the big tech companies run the free? No, you're not. The president, if he wants, can get out and make a press fucking release tomorrow. Mm-hmm. He's not being fucking silenced.
Right.
He can get on and make a press release. He can put out a press release. He can get on national TV.
Yep.
He can do anything the fuck he wants.
Right.
Now, they ban every one of those platforms, that new platform, whatever they talked about, the one they
Parler.
It's in there. I went and looked at it.
Did you make an account?
No, but I looked at their rules. They can ban anybody at any time for any fucking reason.
Right.
Well, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like that to begin with, don't get on it. But when they do it, don't bitch that they did it.
Right. For sure, they're allowed to do it. I'm not. That's not my question. If I know they're allowed to do it.
Do I think it's right?
Do I think it's like? Don't you think that both opinions, no matter both sides of the fucking aisle, no matter how
extreme
they are, people should be able to experience them and make a judgment on if it's right or wrong.
All right, let me give you. Let me.
Example,
I know what you're saying.
The Capitol, right? People see all these crazy motherfuckers going into the Capitol with fucking rebel flags and wearing shirts that say it wasn't enough. What was the thing they say? Didn't kill enough Jews. These fucking neo-Nazis that are in there, whatever. People should be able to see that and understand that, okay, this is fucking crazy. You should be able to condemn that, or, you know, make a decision about that.
And nobody's questioned. They're not stopping that. They're stopping one person. Let me ask you. Let me take it to the other level. Mm-hmm. Is it okay for you to go to a movie theater and scream, fire, 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 and everyone panics and fucking 3 people die when they fucking run out of the place and there's no fire?
Right, no.
They know that. Free speech doesn't give you a right for that.
Right.
Is it okay for somebody to recruit fucking psychopaths that are not so outside the mainstream? Now, we don't let the KKK fucking do that because it's, you know, that's banned now. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. At what point is creating anarchy stopped? In 1937 or 38, when Hitler became stronger and stronger in power, he shut down, so he was the only one that can do that. If we let one person, whether it's a Donald Trump, anybody, whoever, crazy, they did it with Alex Jones because he'd do whatever it is.
Right.
If and I get where you're going to go. If we let them create more and more havoc without stopping them, at what point what happens if he says, I'm on Twitter and I want to mobilize 500,000 people and I want you to get your arms and we're going to go to war? Is that right?
No, definitely not. I mean, because
people are brainwashed. Yeah. Howard Stern said it.
People are brainwashed, yeah.
Howard Stern has the biggest audience in the world. He get 15 million listeners a day. Think of that. Avid listeners. Howard Stern knows if he wanted to, he could mobilize, or he has a percentage of them. Listen, I have a percentage of people. I have a Discord on. I have a percentage of people I'm sure that are convincible, or whatever you want to call it. So now I have to be responsible. If I started getting crazy, should I be shut down or stopped at least for doing that?
Right.
I have to believe at some point we have to keep civility. Because if you say nobody's allowed to do anything, you can't shut anybody down. They can do anything they want.
Right.
then that guy in that in that movie theater who goes in there and causes a riot because he says, people he shot, run, everyone's gonna die, everyone died, and an old lady gets trampled. I'm in this case, in the thing what's going on now, I think there's a business decisions by those companies, and let the market bear it. Let the market bear it.
Right.
Why don't you shut Fox down?
Right.
Because they're spewing this stuff about the election. We know it's false. Come on, let's get everybody out there.
Yeah.
And there are people who are going to be listening saying, no, fucking no, it's stolen. 60 fucking courts with federal judges said there's no fucking fraud. Mm-hmm. The own administration that Donald Trump put in said it was the most secure election ever in the history of in America.
Did they really?
Yes. Homeland Security and the Election Commission. The guy resigned because Trump's banned him, and he did it. All the money was put in there. Most secure election in American history.
Wow.
So why are people just inciting people to do something stupid? Mm-hmm. That's what that is. People want to be led. I know that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
people
do. Yeah.
people don't like you guys. People, I love. That's why I like young people who have. Look at the ages of most of those people. Most of them are older.
Yeah.
And I don't mean they're not your age. They're not 25.
Right. Yeah, they're much older.
35, 40, 45, 50, you know. Look at the guys that are sitting on the bench. You know, they're 50 years old, 45 years old with fucked up lives. Probably didn't do anything in their lives. And they want to be led. They want to be led. And I get want to be led. We need leaders, but you need leaders who are going to push us in the right direction. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and so as far as, I do understand at what point, listen, the market will bear it out.
Right.
Because if it's bad decisions and nobody goes on it, because what you're saying, are you going to go on Twitter? I don't know if you do go Twitter.
Yeah, I'm still going to go on Twitter regardless.
Okay, so I guess it's nothing so bad that you're not going on Twitter.
Right.
So they made that calculation, Twitter. Trust me, if Twitter thought it was going to lose 100 million people, and they're going to lose all this revenue, Twitter's not fucking taking you down.
Right.
But they made a decision, or they made a decision that it was so bad we don't care about the money, and we're going to lose it. But not only did Twitter do it, Facebook did it, Twitter
YouTube.
did it, Instagram, YouTube. Listen, you and I know something. We're on YouTube. There's monetization. You know this. Mm-hmm. If I do something, and I've been demonetized. Have you been demonetized?
On specific videos, yeah.
Well, when you look
for bullshit reasons.
Whatever.
Complete.
When you look at it, do you alter your thing?
Sometimes it does alter the way you.
I do it.
Yeah.
If I look at my Twitter and we put up a video early, and we look at the rules.
Yeah.
And we skirted them, didn't skirt them, whatever we did, and we go back and change it because we're going to follow the fucking rule because I want to be monetized.
Right.
So they put the rules out. I either follow them or guess what? Larry don't get fucking monetized.
Right.
And I can't knock that. That's the rule. Do I wish it wouldn't? I mean, yes. Do I think but then when you look at it and you look deeper on their end, sometimes it's overboard, at least I believe, but for somebody else, it's not. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times with content, like movie reviews, if you make them your own review, but then you can monetize. But I had a person, Russian, take my fucking videos and totally fucking change not do a thing, fucking just put my voice in it and was making money, or tried to make money.
Really?
And YouTube shut him down. Thank you.
Yeah.
They protected my fucking thing by shutting them down. And if you ever look at YouTube, most things they shut down is they're trying to protect somebody else's content or something else.
Right.
So how do you knock that? That's a business decision.
Yeah, for sure.
And you and I, as influencers, what do? We watch what we're doing. We alter it. We still want to have conversations like we're having or whatever we're doing. But we understand there is a boundary of some sort. Because if there's no boundary, Dan, what are we going to fucking do?
Yeah, there has to be a boundary. I agree. I totally agree with that. There also has to be more conversations about things too. People just like to make these bold statements, no matter how untrue they are, and people do get brainwashed by them, and they don't think. There's no thinking involved. They just like to repeat shit that they see or they hear.
Well, I don't know if it's that, but here's the problem. At what point do you believe something? In other words, if you're sitting in front of me, and I fucking show you a video of a guy shooting the fucking guy, and it's not altered.
Right.
Do you believe it?
Maybe.
Or do you say, not my guy, no, that's altered. You had professionals, you had this doing it, you're doing it. At what point, I mean...
That's the weird thing, right? Because people already believe, it doesn't matter, you can't change their beliefs.
You can't change their mind.
Everything,
I have friends of mine.
They filter it backwards. Whatever they see out there, they bring it in, and it either reinforces what they already believe, or if it doesn't reinforce what they already believe, it's got to be fake. It's got to be altered.
100% right, and it's sad because I have friends of mine. Now this incident changed a lot of people. Totally changed a lot of people. I'm talking staunch fucking Trumpers, or this incident. I have a friend of mine I know for 40 years. Older guy, said this ruined him, ruined his life, ruined everything, and he was a big Trump guy. Mm-hmm. And we used to debate, of course. Never hate each other. I never hate anybody. But you'll ever watch my videos, right? I don't use the word hate. Mm-hmm. I think it's a wasted emotion. Yeah. I think if I hate, it hurts me, not the person. The person you hate don't give a fuck. It's just hurting you.
Right.
I dislike things, and I won't go to them or whatever, but I don't hate. Right. I don't give a fuck. I just don't hate. And I think what's happened is this incident now has got people opening their eyes because they're seeing it. I mean, I don't know how you could talk your way out of this. I don't know how you could talk your way out of this. But there are people already saying, oh, no, I love a couple of them I heard. Oh, that was Antifa in disguise.
I know, I saw that.
Then they find the guys who were they got them on tape. They look them up on their social media for the last 6 months or whatever. They're Proud Boy or this or whatever they are. So now they did that one. So now the narrative has changed.
Well, it is possible that some of the people there were there to rile it up too, right? It's possible that some people were there.
There's always a possibility.
Right,
but
right.
Listen, if you're that, there's also a possibility what hasn't been mentioned yet.
But most
How
of
do you know there
most
weren't
of
some Russian spies in there and they were planting fucking goddamn devices in there?
Totally.
I mean,
George Soros paid for all of it, right? George Soros paid all those people.
Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking crazy.
How do you fucking come up with this shit?
No, they're changing the narrative now to switch it to the Twitter and the all Instagram, Twitter. What's the other one? I just looked it up.
Instagram,
Parler.
Yeah,
and they're changing it. Oh, now it's a free speech issue. No, it's not. That's a fucking free country. To be a free country, that company can do whatever the fuck it wants.
Right.
Why is it a free speech? Tell me why.
It is kind of weird, though. It is kind of weird because of the age we're living in, the technologies we're living in. Social media, it dominates everybody's lives to where they have...
Well, shouldn't somebody sit back and say, wait a minute?
Wouldn't you say most people have more interaction or communication on their phones than they do like we're having right now?
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like we're teetering on this little edge where companies like Twitter and Instagram are almost like a public utility.
No. How do you get that? Because you can, if there was one, that's a monopoly. If there's two, maybe a monopoly. There's 20. There's how many social media? TikTok now.
Right.
Another country's one. Blow up. Right. China's fucking TikTok blew up. And Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, fucking mess. There's a zillion of them. They really are. If you start really getting down to them.
Yeah.
And you can go to which one you want. So you're not being totally silenced, or you're not being just because you aren't on the biggest one, or you went and build this. Listen, I have all of that. And I look at it as a tool, obviously, to communicate or whatever.
Right.
But if it gets shut down, it gets shut down. I go to the next one. Or if I don't like what I did to get shut down, I change it as of YouTube. Mm-hmm. If I do something on YouTube, that's where my main thing is.
Right.
So I'll change it. Or if it's not, maybe I'll get to a different platform. Maybe it is a podcast. But everything is censored in its own way. So don't think, oh, this will never censor you. That's bullshit. They all put it in there so they can censor you.
Right.
But that's up to us